When you come in, it most likely would look like this. The left-hand corner are all the projects that you can put your survey into. These are your surveys that I've created a lot of it for a lot of purposes. The meat of the surveys are here. Now, if you look at on the top right banner, there are projects, contacts, action, library, and help. We're going to talk about projects only. And I have to say, I love using Qualtrics, but I don't know all the functions that I can do for Qualtrics or using Qualtrics. And this is my first time teaching Qualtrics. So I'll try my best to teach you how to use Qualtrics, but there are a lot of functions. Projects are basically surveys. When you want to create a new one, you create new project. Even though it didn't say survey, it's actually creating a new survey. When you click it, they actually have some pre-created survey for you. They're usually for business-like organization. Some even have K-12 education. They have product research, brand research. Most of the time, you will create your own. You will create your own survey. They will start you with a project name. This is probably the name of the survey, so I'm just going to put test here, and then you get started. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you come in here. You're ready to add your survey question, and there are a lot of things on here which I will kind of walk through you so that you will know kind of what are the things you need, what you can just ignore. I actually have set out a mock survey question because I feel like we might not have enough time. So I'm going to this question here, survey here. This is the survey name. It's also called project name for some reason. You can actually change your survey name here. These are some other projects that I have, but today I'm going to talk about if you are gathering some information from your county. I put X county info gathering, and let me see if I put like ABC here, it will actually change automatically. Let me see here. I have to refresh it. Yes, it will change the survey name automatically, so you don't have to worry about the survey title too much. What I'm going to do is walk you through I will not have handouts because Qualtrics have already created so many great instructions. So if you want, you can put your notes in your paper or notebook, but I won't give you too many handouts for this workshop, just so you know. Every time you have the survey, you want to create a descriptive text. What is a descriptive text? When I click here, you have the question type, and this is a very important one. The descriptive text is something that is static, which means it's probably like an introduction. You really need to put your introduction in the survey, even if you have repeated in the email address, because people will get confused if you don't have a descriptive text. You don't want to start your first question as a survey question. You can also put in graphic, which I'll show you how. To briefly go through what I wrote in here is because this survey is meant for Qualtrics workshop, so I'm not going to send this to community. I am going to send you this survey to all of you in the later workshop so that you can get a feel when you fill it out what it feels like. The goal of this survey is to gather the needs of your community during COVID-19 pandemic, and this survey will help us make decisions. One thing very important about survey is you don't want to force people to fill out survey. I only mandate people to fill out survey when it is about Snapback activities collection. I need to know the Snapback activities that you are doing, so I will ask for names and ask for mandatory. But usually, you want to give people the opportunity to want or not want to fill out survey, because people have the rights, basically. you want to definitely say we will not share your answers with anyone, and you have to keep your promise. And then you should put in deadlines. And then on behalf of who, thank you and please stay safe. So this is a descriptive text. You want to keep it short, simple. Mention that people can voluntarily opt out or opt in, and you will not share your answers with anyone other than within the program. So for graphic, when I want to create a new question, you can actually click on this drop-down menu and then put in graphic. Or you can, this one is to remove the question. I've already put one, and when I select a graphic, you can actually upload a new graphic. So if you want to put in your extension file, you can put choose file, and then you can choose your file. But once you upload a graphic, it actually save it in your Qualtrics account. So I'm just going to put thank you here. It's too big, but I can edit it later. Next is just, you don't have to ask this question because it's quite sensitive. The reason I ask is that if you have a lot of different population, you kind of want to know where they live, but you don't have to ask them for address. You can actually ask for zip code, because then you have a kind of an idea where they live, right? So you can actually put in all the zip code here. Now, how do I do that? Let me create a new question. When I click on the question, go to change question type. It's actually for multiple choice. Well, actually, it should be single choice. I'm sorry. You can do single answer, even though it's a multiple choice. And because if it is zip code, you can have a lot of zip codes in your targeted places. So what I can do is I just put in 6501. I'm using Manhattan location, 6502. And then to make it quick, you want to jump to the next choice. You just click tab on your keyboard. So if you can look at your keyboard, find the word say tab, T-A-B. You tab, 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 and then it will automatically populate for you. This is for zip code and for numbers. Now, you don't really want to show people that many options. So what you can do is on the position here, is it position? Sorry, let's see here. You can actually, in answers, you can actually choose drop-down list, and then it will make it so clean. because the survey respondents or people who fill out the survey, it will just click one. If not, if you put single answer, there's so many of them, it's kind of clunky. If you put select box, you can also actually do that. Multi-select box. Multi means that they can answer, they can choose several zip codes. But I like drop-down list better because it's just cleaner and people know that, oh, you put this, you just click it and it's a drop-down menu. One other thing is you can actually click the setting here, and there are a lot more things which I will show you later. The reason that there's this asterisk here, so it's because validation options. You actually have two. You can force people to respond, which means if you click this, people will have to choose something for that survey. It will not proceed if you did not choose this. Most of the time for your community survey, I discourage you to choose this one unless absolutely have to. People have the right to not answer any survey questions. So I wouldn't ask you to choose this a lot of time unless it's very necessary. You can do requests. So what does it mean by request? Is that if they don't choose this particular question, when they click next, they will ask you, are you sure you don't want to answer the question? It's kind of a prompt. If they say they still do not want to answer the question, it will just move to the next page. Let's put request response. You will see what I mean. All right, next question. What are some of your needs? Select all that apply. You can see that Okay, I'm looking at chat too. Nikki asked on question 3, can you show us how to make one of the multiple choice answer either with a place to fill in the other answer? Make one of the multiple choice answers. Okay, I'm going to try my best here. I'm not too sure about a question. Here, because it's multiple choice again, but the answer here is multiple answer. One trick is if you want to know, is this multiple or single answer? This is square box. If it is square boxes, people can choose multiple. You might want to prompt them by saying select all that apply because people might not know they can choose multiple answers. You can add your choices, which is the answers. You can add more here. But now I'm going to delete it. You put this and then where do I, oh, so you can remove choices, remove choice, or you can click this so it will be like, now there are only 6 choices. Again, you can, in the position, you can do vertical, you can do horizontal, or you can do column. In this case, I prefer vertical. Let's see here. Okay, there are some of the times you are like, oh, what are some of your needs? There are other needs. Okay, how did you get the text box after the other choice? Oh, okay, yes, I'm going to tell you how to do that. Basically, when you have the choice here, right, you want to allow text entry. You can, even like in childcare, you can actually click the drop down button and then allow text entry. It will allow the participants to put things in there. Now, if you don't want the allow text entry, you just click it again and then it will disappear. So when you say other, you can write please specify, which means that please tell me more, or you can say please tell me more. This will allow them to have, they can choose healthy foods, affordable foods, access to foods, and they can also click here and then they can choose their answers. Now you can see this is a very huge box. Sometimes you don't have to put a very huge box here. Let me show you how to adjust the size of the box. Text entry size. So once you allow text entry, you can choose small. And then it kind of show up in the survey too. It's small or text entry size medium or text entry size large. Larger boxes encourage people to write more, I think. But it might scare people off because people tend to think, oh, do you want me to write a lot more? Usually I put medium or small. Okay, next one. This is a sliding question. I don't typically use this, but it might be actually very helpful if you want to quantify your response. What I mean by quantify. Okay, so this is the change question type. This is called slider. When you want to know how important your community members feel about their health. Oh, sorry. I saw the question about does the small text box limit character numbers? It does not, because let me see here. Okay, now so I'm at this question. There's a very, let me do this. There's a lot of things here, which is for this particular question. And then when you look at validation type, you can click custom validation. Oh, sorry, probably the wrong one. I remember there's something you can limit the characters, but you don't have to. When you click none, I think it's just you can go on and on. All right, back to the slider question. I want to know, like, how do they feel about something? Do they feel their health is important? Do they feel their family health is more important than their own health? You can use the skill saying that 1 is not very important and 100 is very, very important to me. What they can do is they can slide as they like, and you can see how the number changes. It can be 55, 60, and then if they think their family health is more important than themselves, then they might put 90 or 100. So when it's quantifiable, it's easier to explain, and then it might change your program, because if the family health is more important than their own health, when you advertise your program, then you should put coming to the program will help your family to be healthier, or how to cook a meal for the family. Now then I put being able to eat healthy foods, is that important, and they can compare with their health or their family health. How do they compare, how important they are, and being able to spend time with my family. So there are some other types of questions that you can tackle, or you can choose a different question type for this. Slider is a good way to look at numbers and be very quickly to know which one is more important for your participants. Okay, so you see something about display this question, and then you see this like, oh, I don't know what that means. Display this question, it means that when you fit certain condition, this question will display. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. When you click display logic, displays this question only if the following condition is met. So if you want to know when they choose healthy foods, you want to know more about why they choose about healthy foods, then to meet this condition, the question will display. You can actually add more by clicking plus. So if you click or, so what are some of the, it's truncated, I don't like it, but this question is about what are some of the needs. And then if the person choose affordable foods, you can also say, tell me more. You can also put this as a condition that this question will display. Click or is very important because it means that you either fulfill the first or the second condition. If you put and, it means you have to fulfill both conditions, which usually it's or. You don't want to put and then you click save. But if you don't want this condition, you can just click the red button and then save. So this one, it might be a little bit confusing. I will try my best to talk about that. Pipe text is something like, you know, whenever you receive newsletter and they say your name, like Susing, comma, and then I'm glad that you signed up for this newsletter, you'll be thinking of, do they type my name one by one in the email? They don't. They use pipe text so they can auto-populate your name in the email address. So think about a lot of businesses when they send you newsletter or even any kind of newsletter, they specify your specific name. Just know that they're not typing their name into an email and then send to you manually. They actually have a pipe text, which means that they link your name from some other file. So the name auto-populate when they send to your email address. This one is, when I display this question is when healthy food is selected. So when I choose pipe text, I want to specify that you have chosen healthy foods as your needs. I mean, you can put healthy foods here, but if you do pipe text, when you click pipe text survey questions, you choose what are some of your needs, and then healthy foods is here, you put this in here, it auto-populate healthy foods in here. Okay, might be a little bit too advanced, but if you have more questions, just let me know afterward, or maybe type in the chat box too. Again, for the text sites, this question, the question type is text entry already, so you can have the whole question as text entry. So there's no other options. You can actually move your box bigger because you can actually move it small or large. Let's see here. Okay, so on the right hand side there are text types. You can put single, multi-line. You can put essay text box. And then you can put it way bigger or smaller, however you want to do it. Or you can do it as a form. I usually don't use form. I usually do single or multi-line. And sorry, you can do minimum characters. So character is like A, B, C, that's like 3 characters. It doesn't ask how many words is restricted, so you kind of have to guess how many words. If you want them to talk more about the healthy foods as your needs, can you tell me more about it? You can put maybe like 1,000 so that they can tell you more. Or if not, you can put 100 so they don't put anything less than 100 characters. I usually put mine. The more validation you have, the more problem your survey will have. Okay, so another option is that I want to move this question because this question will display if you choose healthy food for question 3, right? So I want to move this question above this sliding question. What I can do is I click on this survey question, I go to move question. Now you can move it. You can move your mouse where you want to move. Okay, so now it's underneath this question, and then when you click it, it will move here. So now your sliding question is after this text box. Then I asked about the local organizations that have visited the most in the past month. So if you want to bold the most, what you can do is you go to Rich Content Editor. There, so here you can choose your color, or you can put bold here, and then it will automatically change for you. There you go. If you don't like this and you just want to make it more black, all of it the same, you can remove formatting. Again, you have to click Rich Content Editor in order to do your editing, adding colors and all that. There's no save button. You just kind of click outside and it will show up. Okay, this question is multiple choice but single answer because I want to know the local organization that have visited the most in the past month. Now, I'm going to show you another feature of Qualtrics. So this purple button here, this is skip logic. Skip logic is that when you select one condition or one answer, it will skip one question or 2 questions, or however many questions you do. Actually, I want to change this. Okay, so for local organization that you have visited, you have the options of food banks, community centers, park, churches, local clinic, and some other option. Now, if they choose food bank, I actually want to ask a different question. So if food bank is selected, when you click the survey question, you can see here at skip logic, this will appear. The condition is if food banks is selected, it will skip to question 36. Let me choose question 36. So when you choose food bank, you will not get this question. Do you get the service you want in local organization? It will skip to this question. So even though it says display, you see there's a purple color here. So when you see this purple color, it means that it will skip question 29 to question 36. Now I want to know in food bank that have visited the most, do they agree with the following statements? This is another type of question called matrix. Matrix is very popular, but also super confusing for people who fill out survey. A lot of time you use matrix table when you want to know if they agree with the statements. So I can get healthy foods from the food bank. Do they strongly agree this statement, agree, disagree, or strongly disagree? You can get a sense of do they get healthy foods from the food bank? I add healthy foods because our program is aiming to get more healthy foods for people. Then I ask, I can get a variety of foods from the food bank. Do they get a variety, or do they get maybe just 3 or 4 different foods? And then they will click strongly agree, agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. Again, matrix is very confusing sometimes or not. So I would recommend you to reach out to me if you have a question you want to do matrix. Most of the time, I would recommend you to choose multiple choice like this one, so it's easy, clean, things like that.